Okay, you've started with the live session. All right, waiting for the followers to join. Please let me know if you all can hear me and I'm audible or not. So we have Akshay and Manav right now with us. Akshay and Manav, can you all hear me? Just type in the comments below. Okay, Shamit and Neha have also joined in. Okay, I believe that I'm audible and you all can hear me. Great, thanks Manav for the feedback. Before people joined in, let me just tell you all what we are going to discuss today. So this session is basically for people who aspire to. Okay, I'm back. I hope you all can see me. Great. Vocabulary and how MBA aspirants should be treating vocabulary, why, and what should we do in order to improve our vocabulary. Okay, so we are going to focus on these topics. All right. uh, the prime thing that I want to discuss today with you all is that today we don't realize the importance of vocabulary. That vocabulary is okay, like we'll get through it. These are just words, we will somewhere learn them or understand them. But the whole and soul is that vocabulary needs to be studied, needs to be done in a proper manner. I mean, communication is the key, guys, for anything and everything you do today. Okay, and vocabulary somewhere is very very important for an effective communication. So when I talk about importance of vocabulary, let us just see why should we develop new words, why should I enhance my communication, right? The first reason is obviously professional life. Your professional life completely depends on your communication. Especially for MBA aspirants, I'm sure you must be knowing, whoever is planning to give MBA or has cleared their MBA would know that you have a GDPI process. So you have a group discussion and then you also have personal interview to crack, right? Which obviously requires so soft skills are something that is a very important factor when it comes to these topics. So vocabulary plays a very important role over there, right? And so guys, is my connection still there? Can you just tell me whether I'm audible clearly or is it breaking? I cannot. Am I audible? Is it clear? Okay. All right. Thanks. So yes, let's first start. So you know what people say that okay, poor internet connection. Jess telling me, all right, I'm trying. If I can get a better connection, let's just keep giving me feedback so that I know that whether you can hear me or not. Yeah, so I was saying that the best way to improve vocabulary that everybody feels and everybody wants to do is reading. Okay, we all feel that yes, definitely reading is something that will help us. Okay, and definitely definitely important. But what should we read? Now the content is also important, right? So what should we read? I'll suggest a few websites, a few magazines that you should be reading. And reading is not only important for the words, guys, it also opens your mind. Okay, so you read anything that you get in. You read Economic Times, you get news. You read some magazine, you get some perspective towards life, right? So there are 4 magazines that we should focus on, and these magazines definitely will take us to new heights and get us familiar with new things that we would have not read. Okay, the first magazine that I would like to recommend to you is known as Aeon Essays. Okay, it's AEON, Aeon Essays. It's a very good say website where you can go and surf essays from multiple topics, and a lot of different unique blogs are available on that website. Okay, so for anybody who likes reading, for anybody who wants to develop the habit of reading, I believe that this will be the best source. Is the Hindu. Now we all are familiar with the Hindu, right? It is a very good newspaper. It is very efficient with respect to its content. So whenever you read things that you should look at, what you get. Okay, so the way it is written and what is written, that is what you should look at. So you can refer to the Hindu as well. The third thing that you should focus on is the New Yorker. Okay, so the New Yorker is also a magazine which will give you a lot of informative content, not only with respect to our domestic, that is India, but internationally, right? Global issues. And there is another, you could say, website which is called as the Guardian. Now it's a newspaper, a British newspaper, so you can also refer to the Guardian. So these are the four, just a second. Yeah, I'm back. So these are the four sources that you can refer to in order to enhance your knowledge, thus your communication. Okay. All right. Now, reading will get you familiar. Now, there's a difference between being familiar and there's a difference between retaining words. Okay. It is not about familiarity, because if I read, and I'm sure all of you all will agree, like so many, that reading will just help us to get familiar with a topic, right? It is to remember the word forever. So how do I retain? There's a very simple technique. Okay, whenever you come across a word, whether you're reading a comprehension, whether you're reading it in a newspaper, whether you're reading it in a magazine, whenever you come across a word, the first thing you do is look it up. Obviously we all Google it up, right? आजकल ये चलता है, हम सब Google करते हैं. तो पहले Google करो, बट गूगल करना किस चीज़ पे है? गूगल सिर्फ उसका मीनिंग देखने के लिए नहीं करना है. गूगल करना है टू फाइंड आउट इट्स प्रोनाउंसिएशन, गूगल करना है टू फाइंड आउट इट्स स्पेलिंग एंड देन द मीनिंग. सो वी आर नॉट जस्ट लुकिंग एट द मीनिंग. वी हैव दिस टेंडेंसी, नहीं समझ में आ रहा, गूगल किया, मीनिंग पता कर लिया, ख़त्म बात, राइट? वी डोंट डू एनीथिंग फर्दर, बट दैट इज़ नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प गाइज. So you will Google not only to find the meaning, you will also Google to find out the spelling, you will also Google to find out its pronunciation. There are a lot of words in English language will look in a certain manner, but when you actually pronounce it, it is completely different. Okay, so very, very important for you to know the pronunciation. So this is the functions, these are called the functions of the verb. Okay, whenever you study a word, हमेशा 3 functions होते हैं: pronunciation, spelling and meaning. So this is one of the best ways you can retain a word. Okay, I'll share another way of retaining a word with you. Now what is that way? It is known as etymology. Okay, how many of y'all have read Word Power Made Easy? Any of y'all have come across this book called Word Power Made Easy? Now this is a book which takes you back to the roots, okay, and the roots of English. So these are our 2 roots. When we talk about Latin and we talk about Greek, English language has been derived from these 2 roots. So we can go back to the roots. We can use prefixes, which are nothing but attached before the word. We can use suffixes, which are nothing but attached after the word, to understand what the word is and how many words can be derived from it. Okay, let me give you an example. So if Latin word vor, vor, now this means to eat, right? Now how many words can you make from this root word called vor? So if you look at herbivore, it has vor. What does herbivore mean? The person who eats vegetarian food is herbivore, right? Second is carnivore. Somebody who eats non-vegetarian is known as carnivore. Again has vor, which means to eat. Omnivore has both the things, eats anything, so that is again vor. There is another word called voracious. Now what is voracious or voracious? A person who eats very fast, right? To devour. Devour is again has vor, which is D-E-V-O-U-R. Devour means called savor. Savor is to eat very, very fondly and enjoy about. All these words have one thing in common, and that is their root. And what is the root? It is vor, which means to eat. So this is how from one basic word you can develop a lot of words. Okay, Okay, Shami says network issue. Shamit, am I clear now, or as is okay stable now? All right, thanks. So yeah, it is very important for you to know this concept as well. Using the word called bio, the connection. So bio as a word can also be used. And what does bio mean? Bio means life. So now you can take this word and think of how many words you can make from the root word bio. Okay. So this concept is also very helpful for you to understand words. Jay, am I stable now, or is there still network issue? I'm trying my best to get the best possible range. Is it clear now or still having problems? Others, you all can also let me know if it is stable or not. Please keep me updated. Continuous network problem. Alright, let me just try on my data pack. Yes, Shamit, biodata, bio. Okay. Is it clear now? I tried reconnecting it. Is it stable now? Jay, Shamit, could you all just let me know? So I have Umesh, Jay, Gauri, Shamit with me. Okay, great. All right. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Gauri. Okay, yeah. So I was talking about etymology, and you could use the word bio, as he gave two examples of biodata, biology. You can use the word bio and think of as many words as you can make. And you'll be surprised to know so many words have bio in it, and that's a common link between so many words, right? So yes, this is one of the very good ways of which you can improve your vocabulary, right? The next thing is try using association. For a simple sentence, like if I want to say that my mother scolded me, right? Now scolded me is like a very simple word, right? Replace this word with a better vocabulary word. Think of a word that you can use. So there is a word called reprimand. What does reprimand mean? To shout or to scold. So instead of saying my mother scolded me, you could say my mother reprimanded me, right? Now think of another words which mean or which are closer to the word reprimand. So then you have, castigate. You have censure. Censure means to criticize. Yes, Jay, you're correct. Being harsh, right? So look at other ways and other words that can replace being scolded or being criticized or being angry, right? So those are the words which will actually help you to connect. So with an easier word, attach a complicated or a fancy word. And that will make your task even more better to understand what those words mean, right? Now, what is the power of association? Say, for example, you look at a word called gargantuan. Okay, so this word is very new to all of us, gargantuan. Now, what does gargantuan mean? It means very huge, right? So you start like this. You say, okay, little, very little. You could start at very little, then go to little, then you could say large, very large, and then you say gargantuan. So you will remember, okay, we started from small, then little, then we've gone to little big, very large, and gargantuan. So that's the extreme degree of being big. So what can you think about being gargantuan? So you could say Godzilla, huge, gigantic, right? So think of associations. Think of words that you can connect with that word. Maybe mentally, maybe you can attach to it with a figure, with a, some kind of an image, or you can attach it with some incident you have occurred with, or you can attach it with some kind of a link, right? That is known as power of association. So again, this power of association is very, very important for you to retain words, right? Now all of you all will laugh if I tell you this, that you all should start maintaining journals. Now what is a journal basically? Journal is nothing but a list of words, okay? So every day you should come across a new word, and I'm sure if you are a reader, if you are an avid reader, you would come across new words. But now the task is not just to remember those words, but to retain those words. So maintain a journal. Write down that word every day and bring a list of, or probably make a list of those words, right? Now what happens when you do this, it gives you positive reinforcement. Somewhere I get motivated कि अच्छा मैं रोज़ 2 से 3 वर्ड्स कर रहा हूँ या कर रही हूँ, और अब मेरे पास इतने सारे वर्ड की पूरी लिस्ट बन गई है. और अगर अब मेरे पास इतने वर्ड्स की लिस्ट है, इसमें से कितने वर्ड्स मुझे एक्चुअली पता है, एंड पता होना इज़ नॉट इनफ, जस्ट टू नो द वर्ड्स इज़ नॉट इनफ, कितने वर्ड्स मैं यूज़ कर सकता हूँ या कर सकती हूँ, तो कितने वर्ड्स मैं एक्चुअली यूज़ करती हूँ, राइट. सो दैट इज़ ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट, विच टेक्स मी टू सेइंग दैट यू शुड स्टार्ट यूजिंग द वर्ड्स दैट यू लर्न. अब ये कैसे होगा? Either you use it in written communication, so when you write your essays, or when you're writing a letter, or when you're writing an email, start furnishing those words, right? Second, if you're not using in written, start oral communication. Okay, anybody and everybody who is aiming to be an MBA, guys, trust me, there will be a point in time where you will say, wish I would have enhanced my communication, because GD आएगा, you will have to speak in English fluently for a long period of time. PI आएगा, PI में भी questions पूछे जाएंगे, you will have to answer in English, that too confidently. So this requires effective communication, fluency in language, and obviously if you're good in words, it is a plus, right? So yes, we were talking about how do we enhance. We spoke about reading. I told you all what you should read. We spoke about etymology, which is going back to the roots and studying roots. We also spoke about association, right? We can also engage in playing games. What are games now? You see online you have crossword puzzles available. Why not do that? So you can start playing crossword puzzles, right? That will definitely help you to think, rack your brains, and somewhere bring in analytical power as well as vocabulary, right? So both things will be enhanced over there. You can also engage in making flashcards or downloading flashcards. Now what are flashcards? You may be thinking कि flashcards क्या होते हैं? So flashcards are basically a set of colorful cards which give you the word along with its meanings. Okay, if you want, during this lockdown period, we all are sitting at home and we can make the most of it. So indulge into making your own fancy flashcards. That is also something that you can do, right? So this is also going to really help you in order to enhance your communication. Now these are few tricks and tips that we've employed for vocabulary, right? This will help you to build your word power. Thinking about etymology, I also told you that you should go through this book called Word Power Made Easy. Okay, this book is by Norman Lewis, and the more you read this book, the more you will get to know what are the roots of our English language and how a certain word has developed over the time, right? Now I'm going to emphasize a little bit towards the end of this live session about communication, and that too written communication. Okay, so we also have in our daily life, we have to write our emails, and in our MBA exams sometimes we are asked to write essays, so that is known as written ability test. We have VAT sessions, right? So how do we make our communication effective? Yes, Shamit, I will definitely try and drop the link where you can find that book. Simply, even if you Google and just find out Word Power Made Easy online version, you will get it. It's a very short book and it has few exercises also. I'll see if I can drop the link, definitely. Okay, so I was talking about written communication, right? Now what happens is, we are used to using a lot of slang language. When we communicate, we don't realize, but we use shortcuts. We use short forms. We use expressions that are actually not very formal. So the first thing that you should do is cut off these expressions from your written communication. See if there are any loose ends. Okay, these are known as loose ends. Try not to have any loose ends. Always see that your written content and your written communication does not have any slang. That's the first thing. The second thing is, try if you cannot use various clauses and phrases. Say if you have to say something, do not say it in 4 to 5 sentences. Try to put it in one simple sentence. The reason for this being is, we try to express ideas in shorter sentences, which makes my entire content very mushy, very untidy. If I put these shorter sentences into one clearly linked sentence, it will obviously be very, very, say good, and it will obviously appear very fancy for the reader as well. The third thing is, which most of us forgets, is the use of conjunctions and connectors. Now, why are we studying conjunctions? Why do we study words like nevertheless? Why do we study words like, with, although, or withstanding, never withstanding, right? Why do we study these words? To use them while we are writing. So these are known as transition words. Try to use as many transition words as you can. Okay, when I say transition words and as many, do not just clog your essay with all transition words, but try to smoothly translate one sentence to the other with the help of a connector. This will definitely give a plus to you in your written communication. Okay, furthermore, whenever we try to write an essay, I have seen many students writing examples, and these examples often are self-referencing examples. Try not to self-reference yourself. So avoid self-referencing. What do I mean by that? Don't say I should, I had, I will, I came across. Try avoiding the use of I. The lesser self-referencing, the better it is for you, and the better the content will be, right? We also have a tendency to quote facts, and we always say that if in your essay or if in your written communication, if you've quoted some fact, it will be better, right? But do not quote a fact if you're not sure of it. Okay, do not do it. It somewhere will backfire. So if you are very, very sure, if you know that this is the fact and this is the content, only then go for it. Otherwise, withdraw yourself from writing any fact. Okay, so these are your few tips that will help you to make your communication, written communication, effective, right? Yeah, so now the last thing that I want to leave you with, the last thing that as students you should know is, whether it is vocabulary, whether it is written communication, whether it is anything that you need to be master at, guys, consistency is the key. You need to do it every day. You need to do it repeatedly. Only then will you be able to master something. If you study words for 2 days and you say, now I'm not going to do it, it will not come to you. If you write a letter or you write an essay for 2 days and then you leave it again, it is not going to help you. So consistency, remember the word consistency is the key. The more you practice, the better it will be, the better words you will know and the better things you will do, right? So before I conclude, is there any questions that you would like to ask me? Things I've already suggested that you need to go through the magazines. Let me just repeat them for you. They are Aeon Essays, the New Yorker, the Guardian, and the Hindu. Okay, these are a few suggested things that you all can read as MBA aspirants. Any other question anybody else would like to ask me? I'm free to answering them. Are you all facing any issues, some roadblocks that you want me to resolve? I'm waiting for your questions, guys. Okay. Okay, Jay. I hope this session has helped you all, and feel free to ask us any questions. You can also drop a message in our DM so that we can reply to you. You can post comments behind, below our any post so that we can always get back to you. Okay, so I think this session was useful. Let me end it for now. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Bye bye.